The mind is one of the greatest gifts God has given to humanity. It is the center of thought, imagination, decision-making, and perception. Every action begins as a thought, and every destiny is shaped first within the hidden chambers of the mind. Before victory is seen outwardly, it is first won inwardly. Likewise, before defeat becomes visible, it often begins as a silent battle in the mind. The greatest war many people face is not against physical enemies, financial lack, or difficult circumstances. It is the internal war of thoughts. Fear, anxiety, doubt, insecurity, bitterness, and confusion are invisible enemies that attack the mind daily. These battles are often unnoticed by others, yet they have the power to determine the direction of an entire life. The Bible teaches that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. This powerful truth reveals that your thoughts shape your character, your decisions, and ultimately your destiny. If your mind is filled with defeat, limitation, and negativity, your life will often reflect those patterns. But when your thoughts are aligned with truth, faith, and divine purpose, your life begins to move toward victory. The mind is a battlefield because it is the place where identities are formed. It is where beliefs are established, where faith is strengthened or weakened, and where spiritual battles often begin. The enemy understands the power of the mind. He knows that if he can plant seeds of fear, lies, and discouragement, he can influence behavior and delay destiny. Many people live beneath their potential not because they lack ability, but because they have accepted destructive thought patterns. Thoughts such as, I am not enough, I will never succeed, or my situation can never change, become mental strongholds that imprison progress. These lies become chains that limit vision and weaken confidence. One of the greatest tragedies is when a person is physically free but mentally imprisoned. Mental bondage can be more destructive than physical limitation because it affects every area of life: relationships, career, spiritual growth, and personal fulfillment. To master your mind, you must first recognize that not every thought deserves acceptance. Many people allow negative thoughts to dominate simply because they do not challenge them. But wisdom requires discernment. You must learn to examine your thoughts and ask, does this thought align with truth? Does it strengthen my faith? Does it move me closer to purpose? If the answer is no, then it must be rejected. Your mind is like fertile ground. Whatever you consistently plant will eventually grow. If you plant fear, anxiety will increase. If you plant bitterness, emotional pain will multiply. If you plant faith, courage, and truth, strength will flourish. This is why guarding your mind is essential. What you watch, what you listen to, the conversations you engage in, and the environment you remain in all contribute to your mental condition. Negative environments can poison the mind, while uplifting truth can strengthen it. Discipline is required for mental victory. A powerful life does not happen by accident. You must intentionally renew your thoughts daily. Prayer, meditation, scripture study, and wise counsel are essential tools in this process. Prayer invites divine strength into your mental battles. Meditation helps focus your thoughts on truth. Scripture provides the foundation for righteous thinking. Wise counsel offers perspective and correction. Without intentional renewal, the mind easily drifts toward fear and disorder. Consider how many opportunities are lost because of uncontrolled thoughts. Some people never pursue their calling because fear tells them they are unqualified. Others sabotage relationships because insecurity convinces them they are unworthy of love. Some abandon dreams because doubt whispers that failure is inevitable. Yet the truth is this: your mind can either empower your destiny or imprison it. God desires transformation, but transformation begins in the mind. Before your life changes externally, your thinking must change internally. You cannot consistently live above the level of your thought patterns. If you think like a victim, you will often live like one. If you think with courage, discipline, and faith, your life will reflect those qualities. Mental transformation requires replacing lies with truth. Every false belief must be confronted. Every fear must be challenged. Every limiting thought must be uprooted. This process is not always easy because many harmful beliefs are deeply rooted through past pain, failure, or negative experiences. But healing and transformation are possible. You must understand that your past does not have to define your future. Past mistakes do not determine present worth. Previous failures do not cancel future success. When the mind is renewed, a new path becomes possible. The battlefield of the mind also involves consistency. Victory is not won in one moment, but through continual discipline. Just as physical strength requires repeated exercise, mental strength requires repeated renewal. Every day presents new battles. Some days fear may rise. Other days doubt may attempt to dominate. But mental mastery means consistently choosing truth over lies. A strong mind does not mean the absence of challenges. It means the presence of discipline despite challenges. Faith-filled thinking is one of the greatest weapons in this battle. Faith does not ignore reality, but it refuses to be controlled by fear. Faith sees obstacles but believes in solutions. Faith acknowledges challenges but remains rooted in hope. This mindset is crucial for fulfilling purpose. Great leaders, visionaries, and spiritually mature individuals understand the importance of mental mastery. They know that external success often begins with internal stability. Your destiny is too valuable to surrender to destructive thinking. Every thought you entertain is either building you or breaking you. Therefore, take ownership of your mind. Guard it carefully. Feed it truth consistently. Reject fear boldly. Embrace faith intentionally. When you control your thoughts, you begin to control your direction. When you master your mind, you position yourself for greater peace, clarity, and effectiveness. The battlefield of the mind is real, but victory is possible. You were not created to live in confusion, fear, or defeat. You were created for strength, purpose, and transformation. Your mind can become your greatest weapon instead of your greatest weakness. The war begins within, but so does the victory. Master your mind, and you begin to master your life. Transformation is one of the greatest desires of humanity. People long for better lives, stronger relationships, greater peace, spiritual growth, and divine purpose. Yet many seek external change without understanding that true transformation begins internally. Lasting change does not start with circumstances. It starts with the renewal of the mind. Your thoughts shape your life more than you may realize. Every action, decision, and habit is influenced by what you consistently think. If your thoughts remain trapped in fear, negativity, doubt, and limitation, your life will often reflect those same patterns. But when your mind is renewed with truth, wisdom, and faith, your entire life can begin to shift toward divine alignment. The process of renewing your mind is essential because the natural human mind is often influenced by worldly pressures, painful experiences, insecurity, and false beliefs. Without intentional renewal, people can unknowingly adopt destructive thought patterns that limit growth and hinder purpose. Many individuals are not defeated because they lack talent or opportunity. They are defeated because their thinking is misaligned. Wrong thinking creates wrong expectations, wrong decisions, and wrong outcomes. Divine transformation begins when you recognize that your mind must be retrained according to higher truth. The Bible declares, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." This reveals a profound spiritual principle. Transformation is directly connected to mental renewal. Change is not merely behavioral, it is cognitive and spiritual. Renewing your thoughts means replacing fear with faith, lies with truth, confusion with clarity, and limitation with possibility. It means allowing God's truth to become stronger than your past experiences, emotional wounds, or negative conditioning. For many people, harmful thought patterns are deeply rooted. Past rejection may create insecurity. Previous failures may produce fear. Painful disappointments may breed hopelessness. Over time, these experiences can shape identity in unhealthy ways. Someone who repeatedly hears criticism may begin to believe they are inadequate. Someone who experiences failure may start to fear all future risks. These mental strongholds can quietly control behavior unless intentionally confronted. Renewal requires identifying these false beliefs and replacing them with truth. This process begins with awareness. You must first examine your dominant thoughts. Are your thoughts filled with faith or fear? Do they empower growth or reinforce limitation? Are you mentally aligned with your purpose, or are you sabotaging your own progress? Self-awareness is crucial because transformation cannot occur where denial exists. Once destructive thought patterns are recognized, intentional replacement must begin. For example, I am not enough must become, I am equipped for my purpose. I always fail must become, failure is a lesson, not my identity. Nothing will change must become, transformation is possible. This is not empty positivity. It is disciplined mental renewal. Your mind is like a garden. If left unattended, weeds will naturally grow. Negative thoughts, fear, and destructive habits can easily take over without deliberate cultivation. But when truth is consistently planted, nourished, and protected, healthy growth becomes possible. This is why daily discipline matters. Renewing your mind is not a one-time event. It is a continuous process. Every day, your mind is exposed to influences, media, conversations, environments, and experiences that can either strengthen or weaken your transformation. Therefore, you must be intentional about what you consume mentally. What you listen to matters. What you watch matters. Who you surround yourself with matters. Toxic influences can reinforce fear and confusion, while wisdom-filled environments can strengthen faith and clarity. Prayer plays a vital role in mental renewal because it connects your mind to divine strength. Prayer is not merely asking God for blessings, it is also surrendering harmful thought patterns and receiving renewed perspective. Meditation on scripture is equally powerful. When you consistently focus on truth, your thoughts gradually shift. Fear loses strength, doubt weakens, faith grows. This process requires patience. Many people become discouraged because transformation does not happen overnight. But mental renewal is often progressive. Just as physical training requires repetition, mental transformation requires consistency. Small daily disciplines create significant long-term results. Every time you reject fear, you strengthen courage. Every time you choose faith, you weaken doubt. Every time you replace lies with truth, you reinforce transformation. Over time, your mental framework changes. This renewed mindset directly impacts behavior. A transformed mind produces transformed actions. When your thoughts change, your confidence increases. Your decisions improve. Your emotional stability strengthens. Your spiritual maturity deepens. Your ability to fulfill purpose expands. Renewing your mind also requires humility. Sometimes people hold on to destructive thinking because it feels familiar, even when it is harmful. Transformation often demands letting go of old identities and embracing a new perspective. This can feel uncomfortable, but growth often requires discomfort. For example, someone who has lived in fear may initially struggle to think boldly. Someone accustomed to insecurity may find confidence unfamiliar. But persistence creates new mental habits. Your identity must no longer be rooted in your past wounds, but in divine truth. One of the greatest benefits of mental renewal is peace. A renewed mind is less controlled by chaos. It does not panic easily because it is grounded in truth. It does not surrender quickly because it has developed resilience. This peace becomes a powerful foundation for effective living. Mental renewal also sharpens spiritual sensitivity. When your thoughts are disciplined, it becomes easier to discern wisdom, direction, and purpose. Clarity often emerges when mental clutter is removed. Without renewal, people can remain trapped in cycles of fear, anxiety, and stagnation. But with renewal, new possibilities emerge. You begin to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. You begin to recognize strength where you once felt weakness. You begin to pursue purpose where you once accepted limitation. This is divine transformation. It is important to understand that transformation is not perfection. Renewing your mind does not mean you will never face negative thoughts again. Challenges will still arise. Fear may still knock at the door. Doubt may still attempt to return. But renewal gives you the tools to respond differently. Instead of surrendering, you resist. Instead of believing lies, you choose truth. Instead of remaining stuck, you move forward. That is growth. Your future is heavily connected to your thought life. A renewed mind creates expanded possibilities. It positions you to live with greater faith, wisdom, discipline, and purpose. Transformation begins internally before it manifests externally. If you desire a changed life, begin with changed thinking. Renew your thoughts daily. Guard your mind intentionally. Feed your spirit consistently. Reject destructive beliefs boldly. Divine transformation is not beyond your reach. It begins with the decision to think differently. Your mind can either limit your destiny or unlock it. Choose renewal and you choose transformation. Victory in life is not merely determined by external achievements, financial success, or favorable circumstances. True victory begins within. It is established in the mind long before it is manifested in daily life. A person may possess talent, opportunity, and resources, yet still live in defeat if their mind remains controlled by fear, doubt, confusion, or limitation. On the other hand, someone with a disciplined and faith-filled mind can rise above obstacles, overcome adversity, and fulfill divine purpose. Mind mastery is one of the most powerful keys to sustained victory. The way you think determines how you respond to challenges, opportunities, relationships, and spiritual assignments. Your thoughts influence your emotions influence your actions, and your actions shape your destiny. Therefore, mastering your mind is not optional if you desire to walk consistently in victory. It is essential. Many people spend their lives fighting external battles while ignoring internal warfare. They seek solutions to visible problems without addressing the hidden mental strongholds that continue to sabotage progress. Fear, insecurity, unforgiveness, anxiety, self-doubt, and negative thinking are internal enemies that quietly shape behavior. Until these mental barriers are confronted, lasting victory can remain difficult. Walking in victory begins with understanding that your mind must be governed intentionally. You cannot allow every thought to control you. Thoughts must be examined, filtered, and directed. Not every thought is truth. Not every fear is valid. Not every mental struggle deserves agreement. A victorious person learns to challenge destructive thoughts and align their mind with higher truth. The Bible teaches believers to take every thought captive. This principle reveals that mental discipline is an active responsibility. Victory is not passive. It requires deliberate effort. To master your mind, you must first develop awareness of your mental patterns. Do you frequently think with fear? Do you expect failure? Do you focus more on obstacles than opportunities? Do past wounds continue to define your present identity? These patterns matter because repeated thoughts become beliefs, and beliefs shape behavior. For example, a person who constantly believes they are unworthy may sabotage relationships or opportunities because their mindset expects rejection. A person dominated by fear may avoid purpose because risk feels overwhelming. A person trapped in insecurity may never fully embrace their calling. Mental mastery breaks these destructive cycles. The journey toward victory requires replacing harmful thought patterns with empowering truth. Fear must be replaced with faith. Confusion must be replaced with clarity. Defeat must be replaced with resilience. Limitation must be replaced with possibility. This transformation does not happen automatically. It requires discipline. Daily habits are crucial. Prayer strengthens spiritual authority. Meditation builds focus. Scripture renews perspective. Positive environments reinforce healthy thinking. Wise counsel provides guidance. Victory is often the result of consistent daily disciplines rather than dramatic moments. Just as athletes train their bodies for physical endurance, individuals must train their minds for emotional, spiritual, and mental endurance. A mastered mind is resilient. Resilience does not mean challenges disappear. It means challenges no longer control your response. Life will bring disappointments. There will be setbacks. There will be seasons of uncertainty. But when your mind is disciplined, you do not collapse under pressure. You remain stable because your internal foundation is stronger than your external circumstances. This is the power of mind mastery. One of the most important aspects of victory is emotional regulation. Many people lose battles not because they lack ability, but because they are emotionally reactive. Anger, fear, insecurity, and impulsiveness can sabotage opportunities. A mastered mind creates emotional maturity. Instead of reacting recklessly, you respond wisely. Instead of panicking, you choose peace. Instead of surrendering, you persevere. This level of discipline is transformative. Walking in victory also requires vision. Without mental direction, life can become reactive rather than purposeful. Vision gives the mind focus. It helps you endure temporary discomfort because you are committed to a greater outcome. A person with purpose can endure battles differently because they understand what they are fighting for. Purpose strengthens perseverance. Mind mastery also protects against external negativity. In today's world, people are constantly exposed to fear-driven news, toxic comparisons, criticism, and distractions. Without strong mental discipline, these influences can create anxiety, insecurity, and confusion. A victorious mind does not absorb every negative influence. It protects peace. It guards focus. It prioritizes truth. This selective discipline is essential for long-term success. Faith is central to sustain victory. Faith is not denial of difficulty. It is confidence despite difficulty. Faith-filled thinking empowers you to believe in breakthrough even when circumstances appear uncertain. Faith allows you to persist when others quit. This mindset is often what separates those who fulfill purpose from those who abandon it. Mind mastery is especially critical for leadership and influence. The greater your calling, the greater the demand on your mental discipline. Leaders face pressure. Visionaries face opposition. Purpose-driven individuals face spiritual warfare. Without a strong mind, great assignments can feel overwhelming. But with mental mastery, challenges become opportunities for growth rather than reasons for surrender. Walking in victory also means understanding your identity. Many people struggle because they define themselves by failure, trauma, or public opinion. But true victory requires identity rooted in divine purpose rather than temporary circumstances. You are not your past mistakes. You are not your failures. You are not your fears. When your mind fully embraces this truth, confidence increases, Confidence is not arrogance, it is alignment with purpose. A victorious person understands that setbacks are temporary, growth is possible, and transformation is continual. Victory through mind mastery is not about achieving perfection. Negative thoughts may still arise, difficult seasons will still come. But mastery means you no longer allow those thoughts or seasons to define you. You remain anchored. You remain disciplined. You remain focused. This consistency creates lasting success. Your mind can either be your greatest prison or your greatest weapon. When undisciplined, it can create fear, limitation, and stagnation. When mastered, it becomes a source of strength, wisdom, creativity, and spiritual power. Every day presents a choice. Will you allow fear to rule, or will you choose faith? Will you surrender to limitation, or will you embrace transformation? Will you live reactively, or will you live purposefully? Victory begins with these daily decisions. Master your thoughts and you master your emotions. Master your emotions and you master your behavior. Master your behavior and you master your destiny. The path to victory is not accidental, it is intentional. Walking in victory through mind mastery means choosing daily discipline, faith, resilience, and truth. You were created not for defeat, but for strength. Not for fear, but for power. Not for confusion, but for clarity. Master your mind and you will unlock the ability to walk boldly in the life you were designed to live.